So let me just make sure I frame so that everyone, for full transparency, understands that the budget that we're going to transmit to the county council is already has an $80 million deficit in it.
According to the Washington Informer, on December 15, 2021, the Prince George's County Public Schools face a possible deficit of $10.5 million.
Full transparency.
Where did this $80 million deficit come from?
And prior to coming here today, we presented on February 10th what we were going to do to close that gap. And that was to use one-time funds from fund balance and a portion from student-based budgeting because we had a lower enrollment.
The student-based budgeting that was proposed to fix this deficit was the closing of Community-Based Classroom, the most successful alternative school that made the unheard of happen with a mere budget of $1.2 million. CBC's budget is less than half of any of the other alternative schools and has an attendance and graduation rate that is markedly higher than any of the remaining alternative schools. As far as the lower enrollment, there was a global pandemic that affected enrollments across the county and country. Why target the most successful schools serving at-risk students with the lowest budget?
Full transparency.
Interestingly enough, the principal of CBC has a civil lawsuit filed in 2019 against PG County Board of Education for unpaid wages that goes to trial in April. One would assume an ethical school board would note this obvious conflict of interest and take special care in explaining the closing of CBC. But so far, we are still lacking in
Full transparency.
This message was not paid for because there are some things more important than money.